Hello everyone, and welcome to another video from Neva Lomson Memorial Library's Makerspace. For today's video, I'll be sharing a tutorial for creating figures using polymer clay. Polymer clay is generally used for making arts and crafts items, such as clay figures for decoration, action figures, and magnets. I made this figure and turned it into a fridge magnet. First, I'm going to choose what to create. We're going to create a princess figure today. We're going to choose what colors to use and select the features we want. For this tutorial, I'm going to be creating a figure based on a character from Jen Wang's comic, The Prince and the Dressmaker. We're going to need plenty of clay, a pair of scissors, and some aluminum wire. First, we're going to create the body of the figure. I'm using white clay as a base. White clay often comes in bulk, so it is cost effective for me to use more of the white clay and less of the other colors. After I mold the arms, legs, body, and head, I put clay of a different color on top. Although her skin tone is already available to purchase, the colors of her dress aren't, so I need to mix several different colors of clay for her outfit. For the main color of her dress, we need to mix blue, white, yellow, and green clay together. after the teal color has been made, we need to apply it to the body of the figure. After 4 years of practice, one habit I've picked up is smoothing out the clay so that it looks nicer and is easier to handle. After we create the top of the dress, we need to make the ruffles for the bottom. To make the design, we're going to create teardrop splotches of different sizes. We're going to have the largest at the bottom and the smallest at her waist. Once we have the parts of the body created, the next thing to do is put the body together. However, speaking from experience, clay figures tend to break apart if the parts aren't wired together, so we're going to use aluminum craft wire to make sure that this doesn't occur. I measure out how much wire I need and then cut it. I fold the aluminum wire several times to make it stronger. Once this is done, we need to stick one end of the wire in the arm and the other end in the main body. The same needs to be done for the other arm, head, and the legs. Now we're going to add the lime green, which I created using yellow and white clay added to the teal clay used for the dress. The lime green clay needs to be molded into long strips for the stripes on the dress. For the butterflies, we're going to mix the lime green clay with more white clay. Then we're going to mold several butterflies and put them on her dress. Additionally, for the sleeve of her dress, we're going to make several small hearts from the teal clay and apply them in a row. For the hair, I'm going to mix white, orange, green, and red clay. Then we're going to mold the clay into several strips and lay them together. Before they are applied to the head, I'm going to add the nose, ears, and eyebrows to her face. Now we're going to mix white and red clay together to create pink clay, and then apply it to give her rosy cheeks and a smile. Then I'm going to start applying her bangs to her forehead. Next, we need to add the rest of the hair on her head to cover up the base clay. Lastly, she needs a crown. We're going to make a crown out of clay and put it on her head. To create the figure, we're using Sculpey polymer clay. Polymer clay remains moldable until it's baked. It cures at 275 degrees Fahrenheit and requires 15 minutes of heat per quarter inch of thickness. Since the princess is about 3/4 of an inch thick, we're going to bake it for 40 minutes at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. When I started working on clay figures, I created the eyes out of clay. However, now I usually paint the eyes on with acrylic paint, since it looks nicer. We're using white and black acrylic paint for the eyes. The white paint is used for the sclera. The black paint is used for the pupil and outline. Now that the eyes are finished, the princess figure is complete. Now let's try to make something else. For the second part of the program, we're going to create a baby dragon figure. We're going to choose what colors to use and select the features we want. I'm choosing the colors white, pink, and blue for this tutorial because it'll be easier to see the dragon's design. A dragon usually has a body, a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs, with 2 wings and a tail. I have been working with clay for over 4 years now. I like working with clay because it's cheap and easy to make clay figures. we decide what other features we want it to have, such as how many horns it should have, and whether we want to add spikes for its tail. I've decided that it's going to have a blue body and tail, pink wings, white eyes, pink spikes on the tail, a pink belly, and 2 horns that are a mixture of blue, white, and pink. To do this, I make strips out of each color and twist them together. Just for fun, we're going to add a few scales of pink to its face, so it looks like it has freckles. Once we have the parts of the body created, the next thing to do is put the body together. However, like the princess figure, we're going to use aluminum craft wire so that the baby dragon figure doesn't fall apart. I use the aluminum wire to make sure that the arms, legs, head, and tail stay on the main body. Additionally, we want the horns and wings to stay attached, so we put aluminum wire in them as well. Once we have the dragon put together, we need to bake it. Since the dragon is about 3/4 of an inch thick, we're going to bake it for 40 minutes at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. On a different note, do not use polymer clay to hold or serve food or beverages. It is not recommended or intended for these applications. All polymer clay products are not labeled as food safe. Our figures are now finished and looking wonderful. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you're interested in participating in more programs, please follow us at Neva Lomasin Memorial Library. And check back at 8 for binge-worthy books with Manager Rachel.